So in last class we studied what is homologous series. So you might be noticed that homologous series means if you have taken we have told that all the alkanes are called as homologous series, all the alkenes are called as homologous series, all the alkynes are called as homologous series. So because all the alkenes they're having the same general formula. Is it yes or no? Alkenes also same general formula, alkenes also same general formula. And every successive organic compound will be varies by how much, guys? It will be varies by
CS2.
C2, or we will say which is equals to what?
14 mass
14
unit.
AMU.
14 AMU, atomic mass units. And I have sent you the 5 properties of homologous series. Have you all studied that? Yes, please. So that 5 properties is very, very important.
Yes,
Kindly study that. All the 5 properties you also should remember. So homologous series means mainly remember they'll be having a similar chemical structure and properties also almost same. If the first thing, for example, alkanes, CH4 is the lowest possible hydrocarbon. If CH4 is reacting with something means then if I'll take whatever it is, suppose if I'll take C4, then C4H10 also will react. For example, methane will react with the chlorine, then butane also will react with the chlorine. So that is what they will shows the same chemical properties. That is what we used to call it as homologous series. So the general structure is same. That is what the general formula is same. One organic compound to next organic compound means successive organic compounds varies by CH2 means one carbon atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. Or the mass unit is 14 atomic mass units will be varies. So that is what we studied in the last class. Now remember, today's class we are going to study the next important one is the functional groups. This all the functional groups also homologous series only. So under the every functional groups we will write 6, 7, at least n is equals to 6 means carbon 6. So that whenever the exam they will ask, you all can understand. So now coming to the functional group, what do you mean by functional group means? So basically remember hydrocarbons, if you have taken hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons means made up of what, guys? Everybody? Hydrocarbons means made up of what? All of you should tell me. It will be made up of what?
Hydrogen and carbon.
Only
Hydrogen.
hydrogen. Do you understand it? Only hydrogen plus carbon. So that is what we used to call it as hydrocarbons. Remember, basically these hydrocarbons are less reactive. Do you understand what I am saying? These hydrocarbons are less reactive. Now, so whatever, irrespective of length of the compound and the size of the compound, if I replace one of the hydrogen, understanding, one of the hydrogen with nitrogen or oxygen or fluorine or phosphorus or sulfur, understanding, and halogens. Do you know all the halogens? What is the halogens, guys? What is the halogens? Fluorine, chlorine, yes,
Chlorine,
Iodine.
iodine, bromine.
iodine, bromine, etc. So, if I replace the hydrogen with these kind of atoms, do you understand, everyone? That is only called as functional groups. So, whenever I replace this hydrogen like this nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, phosphorus, sulfur, then what will happen means immediately their physical properties and as well as chemical properties will changes. Do you understand, everybody? Properties will change and they will become like reactivity nature will be more. So that is what will happen. So now, for example, let us take, we all know the smallest possible hydrocarbon. What is the smallest possible hydrocarbon, everybody?
Methane.
Methane. So as we know methane, what is the state of this methane, all of you? What is the methane state?
Yes.
Gases. So tell me the structure, everybody. Methane. Carbon, single bond hydrogen, single bond hydrogen, and single bond hydrogen. Do you understand, everybody? Yes, please. So now, methane gas, but it's oxygen derivative. If I replace one of the hydrogen with oxygen, just observe. So one oxygen is going to react, but oxygen double bond or single bond? All of you.
Double bond.
Double bond means it needs 2 electrons. So that is what it is. So observe, this is called as methane. Methane gas, but this is called as methanol. Methanol, which we used to say liquid. So whenever the hydrogen is replaced with some other element like this, then immediately the physical properties and as well as the chemical properties will changes. So those elements which I am changing here, you might be see, which I am replacing with the hydrogen. These all the elements we used to call as, remember guys, heteroatoms. What we used to call? Please, heteroatoms. So these heteroatoms and the group containing these specific properties to the compound, regardless of the length and nature of the carbon chain, and this is only called as, the heteroatoms one is only called as functional groups. Do you understand, all of you? So which will provide the specific properties. Now here I replace the hydrogen bond with oxygen so that it will provide the specific properties to this compound. That is why this is called as, this particular part alone, what we used to call, guys, everybody, is called as, what we used to call, all of you should tell. It is called as what? Functional. That is what? That heteroatoms which is providing a specific properties to the organic compounds is only called as functional groups. Okay. So that atoms which I am replacing with the hydrogen is only called as heteroatoms. So these heteroatoms, hetero means what? Like homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Hetero means different atoms. So these heteroatoms will give specific physical and chemical properties to the organic compounds. They are only called as functional group. So these functional group, you can see majority of chemical properties of a given compounds are due to only these specific functional groups. So we are having so many functional groups in our class 10th. The around you can notice even in NCERT book page number 66. I think most of you studied already. They have given 5 functional groups, which is very important, and 2 already we studied. That is what, like alkenes, alkanes, and as well as alkynes. You can see single bond, double bond, and triple bond will come. So let us discuss word by one what is this and how to write the naming of them and all. Now first write what is the definition of functional groups, and later we'll proceed one by one what they are. Have you understand what is that, please? So functional group means, right, the atom or group of atoms. The atom, which atoms they are, heterogeneous or heteroatoms, yes or no? The atom or group of atoms, that is what heteroatoms we used to say. group of atoms which provide specific properties to the organic compounds. Is it okay, guys? Everybody? Now remember, these functional groups only, I used to say, functional group will completely gives the different physical properties and chemical properties. So this functional group is only we used to call reaction site, where the organic compound will becomes like a reaction takes place. Reaction site or reaction center. Okay, where the chemical reaction occurs. So majority of the chemical properties of a given organic given compound is due to the functional group only. So functional group only will decide the chemical properties of a given compound. That is what you have to remember. So now we are having so many, like you can take alcohols. Basically, we used to get alcohols because of the functional group which is present, OH minus. You can see that a single bond, that is what bond OH, functional group. This is called as functional group, which we used to call as basically hydroxide. So because of this, all the alcohols chemical properties will be entirely different. Now, some of the other functional groups you have taken, we all people knows. Suppose if we take halogens. What do you mean by halogens, everybody? Halogens means what? Chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine. So in place of hydrogen, if I replace with these, then these are called as halogens. Same way, if you have taken aldehydes, we used to say, ketones, we used to say, halo groups, we used to say. So like carboxylic acid, we used to say. We'll study now. I will teach you with examples also. So many examples we'll do it. So this is what we used to say functional group. Functional group is an atom or group of atoms which will provide the specific chemical properties to the compound. That is only called as functional group. All of you, hope you all will understand. Now, for your convenience, to make you exam not to mistake, not to commit the mistake again and again, I am saying you now itself, remember, now these functional groups, we will say that two kinds of functional groups. One is a terminal, another one is non-terminal. Remember, one is what we used to call terminal and another one is non-terminal functional groups. So you will understand what is terminal and non-terminal when we are writing. And remember, terminal functional group means it is present only at the end of the carbon chain. That is what it is. I don't want to stress you much. All of you should remember, some functional groups will come last or end of the chain. So that is what terminal at end of the chain will occur. So that is what the functional groups we used to call as terminal functional groups. So you might be known by this time, one and only functional group, always the functional group will come between the two carbons. Anybody can tell what is the functional group? Any idea? Elmukil? Kevin? Very good. So non-terminal means, all of you should understand, it is not present at the end. Not present at the end. Please remember. So only two valencies are satisfied. Two valencies are satisfied in it. So that is what we used to say non-terminal one. So, sir, I want example for terminal. You can write like carboxylic acid. You already which we studied, or OH. Just now we studied alcohol. So everything is example of a terminal. You can take everything, aldehydes, alcohol, everything. So they are the examples of. This is aldehydes and this is carboxylic acid. So last carbon we will find a functional group. So now coming to here, middle we will find. That is what only two bonds are satisfied. Two bonds are still not. Valencies are remaining. So that is what we used to call as non-terminal. So if you take all of you. So the functional groups which is given in our textbook, most of them they are terminal functional groups only, and ketone alone is the one. All of you should remember ketone. Whenever ketone will never come at the end. We will draw the structures also of 5, 6 so that you will understand. Ketone is the one where a non-terminal functional group. All of you should remember that. So where last carbon cannot occur, functional groups cannot occur at the last carbon. Okay. Now let us write functional group and its general for general representation and what it will happen, how it will be happening and all. So let us start with the first one. We will write with the yes, sir, Kevin. Halogens also last only, Kevin. Last only it will come. Last carbon only. Okay. Now let us write first one. The first, if you notice it, the first functional group which is there in our NCERT book is one haloalkanes. So please all of you write. Haloalkanes is the first functional group. So we will represent the representation and everything, functional group, general representation and all. So please write first IUPAC naming of haloalkanes. IUPAC naming of naming of first functional group. What is the first functional group, all of you? Haloalkanes. Okay. Halogens means hydrogen replaced with what, guys? Hydrogen replaced with what?
Halogens.
Halogens. Then that functional group is called as haloalkanes. So the compound containing halogen atom. What is the halogen atom, all of you? What is the halogen atoms? Fluorine, bromine,
Bromine ion.
known as haloalkanes. Haloalkane. So they are the derivative of alkane. That is why they are called as haloalkanes. Derivatives of alkane is called haloalkanes. So you all should tell me. Okay. Now remember, all of you, for this alone, please remember haloalkanes alone, we will get prefix. Remaining all other functional groups, we will get suffix only. So that is what the main thing you have to remember. So this haloalkane is the derivative of halogen, halo plus alkane. That is what we'll get haloalkane. Okay, everybody. So we are going to add here suffix or prefix, everybody. We are going to add prefix only for haloalkanes. So that is what you have to remember. So halo plus alkane, if you will combine, we are going to get haloalkane. So this haloalkane, the functional group will come at the last carbon or first carbon, everybody, middle, only to the last carbon. That is what you have to remember. So the general representation of this one, all of you remember, the general representation of this one is R bond X. Okay, everybody. X means what? Anybody can guess? X means what?
Halogen.
Halogen. That is what you have to remember. So, R indicating, I'm writing here, R indicating any alkyl group. Do you remember alkyl group, all of you? Please respond. Alkyl group. Alkyl group means what? Elmukil, Pradosh? What do you mean by alkyl group? Removing one hydrogen from alkanes means one valency is remaining. That is what we used to say alkyl groups. So we studied methyl and ethyl groups also. Yes or no, guys? That is what. So alkyl group and X means, remember, halogen. So what is a halogen? We know fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So that is what it is. At least that all five you should know. So that is what we can say. Replace one hydrogen. All of you remember, if you take any kind of alkane, replace one hydrogen. Replace one hydrogen with what, guys? One hydrogen by halogen. So then we will get, what we will get, guys? Haloalkanes. That's all will come. Okay. So that is how it will be happening. So that is why their functional group generally will represent with the R bond X. So if we'll take here first compound, which is well known to us, simplest one. What is the simplest one? Everybody tell me. Alkane, methane. So CH4. So CH4 structure, tell me all of you. C H and here H and here H and here also H. Now, one hydrogen I will replace with what, guys? One hydrogen, if I'll remove, then it will turn into alkyl groups. No, Kevin, only ketone is called as non-terminal. Understand, Kevin?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now you can see, guys, one hydrogen I will remove. So it will turn into alkyl group. So what is the alkyl group name called as, that one, all of you? That alkyl group name called as what? I will represent with R. R indicate what? Everybody, please try to answer. R indicate what? Valency. Understanding? Valency present. So this R I replace with the now with what? Chlorine or bromine or iodine. So let me replace with the chlorine so that it will turn into what? C single bond H, single bond H, single bond H. Here what will come, guys? Chlorine. Okay. So if you have taken this one, so can I write this formula, condensed formula? Can you tell me condensed formula of this one, everybody? CH3 single bond C. Okay. So name is, as we know, it is methane, coming from methane. So it should become prefix plus. That is what you all should remember. So it will get prefix first for halogen alone. Prefix plus alkane. That is what you have to write. So what is the prefix here, everybody? What we are adding? Halogen.
Chlorine.
Chloro, CHLORO, chloro plus alkane. What is alkane? Methane. So, which is equals to, what is the name of this one?
Chloromethane.
Methane. Understand, everybody? Same way, if I replace, all of you take, for example, you take ethane. Ethane, tell me, everybody. Ethane. Ethane, what is the formula? C2. Yes, please. C2H6. If I remove one hydrogen, functional group, what will come? C2H5 single bond R. Is it yes or no, guys? R indicating what? Unbalanced. Understanding? So now let me replace with this. R is bromine. Do you understanding? So what will happen, guys? Everybody tell me. Fastly should tell. So C single bond C. Now here what will happen? How many hydrogens will come? 3 hydrogens, but here only 2 hydrogens will come, and last one, what will come, guys?
R.
Bromine, Br will come. So, what is the formula? Condensed formula. Tell me, all of you, condensed formula.
CH3, CH2,
CH2
CH3,
single
CH
bond, Br.
single bond.
Understand, everybody? So, what is the name of this one? Name of this one, bromo plus ethane. Bromo plus ethane, which is equals what will come, guys?
Bromoethane.
Bromoethane. That's all. Do you understand? Same way. If we'll make for propane, tell me propane, what will happen? It will come bromo propane. Can you make the structure, please? What is the structure will come? C single prop. Prop means what? 3 carbons. First make 3 carbons. So now, first one, 3 hydrogens. You should tell me, I should not. Second one, 2 hydrogens. Last one is also 2 hydrogens, but last structure, what will come? Bromine will come. Understanding bromine. So what is the condensed formula, all of you? What is the condensed formula? CH3 single bond, CH2 single bond, CH2 single bond. What will come? Br. Understand, everybody? So now I can replace now iodine. So now let me take methane. So if we'll take methane, I will replace with iodine. Name will come iodomethane. Can you tell me the structure? Iodomethane, how it will come? Single bond, CH4 means. So 3 hydrogens, and here in place of 1 hydrogen, what will come, guys? Iodine will come. Understand? So what is the condensed formula? CH3 single bond I. So that is what I will say. So this is how it will be happening. Understanding? The first functional group is called as halogens. You can see haloalkenes. That is what one of the hydrogen is replaced by this one. So here, who is the functional group? All of you can tell me who is the functional group. If you notice it, I will highlight the functional groups. They are called as functional groups. This bond plus I, functional group. This bond plus Br, functional group. This bond plus Br, functional group. Understanding, everyone? So that bond plus that one is only, if I'll take chlorine, this is what functional group. Hope everybody understand. Please. That is one. So the functional group, if you'll notice it, haloalkanes. What is the functional group, guys? Everyone? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine. So this is what we used to called as functional groups. Okay, guys? Substitutes for hydrogen atom. So one hydrogen atom will be replaced with that. So who is the heteroatoms here? Anybody? Who is the heteroatoms? Heteroatoms. Who is the heteroatoms, guys? Chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine. So this is only called as heteroatoms. Do you understand, everybody? Please respond. This is only called as heteroatoms. Okay, first functional group. That's all it is. Okay, next. Second functional group. What is the second functional group? Heteroatoms. Everywhere, remaining all heteroatoms is oxygen only. So only new hydrogen should not come. The second one we are going to study now is, you all people knows, that is what we used to call as alcohols. So can you tell me what is the alcohols? What is the functional group, everybody? Yes, please. Fastly should tell. OH. Understand? So you can write all of you. IUPAC of, we'll write 5 compounds, everything, at least 4. IUPAC naming of alcohol. IUPAC naming of alcohols. Okay, everybody. So remember the general formula, general representation. Fastly, everybody should write. Yes, Kevin. So general representation, if I have taken, we will represent R single bond, O single bond, H. Kindly remember that. Here R means what, guys? Anybody can tell what is R means? R means what? Any alkyl group. Do you understand, all of you? Please respond. Any alkyl group, like methyl group, etc. Do you understand, Ra? Methyl or ethyl, that is what R means. Okay. OH. O is the heteroatom. Who is the heteroatom here? All of you? Heteroatom.
O.
O, oxygen. Heteroatom is oxygen. Remaining all the functional group, heteroatom is who? Oxygen only. Okay. Now, Kevin is asking the general formula of this one, halogen, haloalkenes. The general formula of haloalkenes is, remember, general formula CnH2n, understand, plus 1 into X. That is what? X indicate what? Anybody can tell? X indicate what?
Halogens.
Halogen. Okay.
Atoms.
Please remember that. The formula is CnH2n plus 1 into X. That is what the formula. Okay, guys. So if you write, for example, iodomethane. Iodomethane means C equals to 1. So C1 H2 into 1 plus 1. Do you understanding? Plus 1 into means iodo. So what will come? C1 H 2 into 1, 2 only. So 2 into 1, 2, 2 plus 1, how much, guys? 3 iodo. So that is what it will come. So we'll get CH3I. Same formula come or not? Everybody. So that is the general formula. CnH2n plus 1 is the general formula of haloalkanes. Are you clear, everybody? Kevin? Okay, that is one. So now, for this one, general formula is CnH2n plus 1. Last, we have to add OH.